a lot of women want the benefits with none of the responsibility. Same goes for marriage. A lot of women want weddings, but not marriages. Right? And what I mean by that is like, even with this whole soft girl era thing, we see a lot of women talking about, being in the robe and being on a yacht in Dubai in a thong and this and that. But are you going to help that man get to the point of having a yacht in Dubai?
And that's why I said,
are you going to have a meal ready for him when he's busting his ass doing the work necessary to get to the point where he can pamper you and put you in the Four Seasons and shit like that? A lot of women just want to be sugar babies instead of like a woman to a man.
Yeah.
That's so true.
But why is that?
Welcome back to Money, Marriage, and Media. Today we are back with We Need to Talk. How to Vet Women, a traveling podcast. Let's go.
She for the streets, so she dirty or she this.
That's a good one.
It depends. Okay, so I could say it depends on your day. Like, okay, my day switch up and my outfits change. So maybe I'm at the gym, my hair is slicked back in a ponytail, but I'm also about to run to the grocery store and I look the same way, to the fact that I'm about to go get dressed for work and I have to make sure my hair is together because I'm a businesswoman. So it all depends on what character you're in that specific time.
Let's say you see her out, like you're at the mall.
Okay.
So she's put together, right?
Okay.
Not super put together, but she's put together. But like, if her hair is frizzy, you need to just leave her alone. She don't care about nothing. Her bathroom dirty. Like, what are something that you could say if a man spots this thing?
Period. Don't judge a book by its cover. Actually get to know it. That's like mandatory. Like,
Men
if you
judge books by their
all
cover.
the time, 24/7. Like,
maybe she needs
Everybody judges books by their cover. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
Thanks.
I feel like God put certain people in your life for a reason. So if you meet a woman or any women in general and she not taking care of herself, she not cleaning up after herself, then maybe God put you in her life so you can help her.
But I'm asking about things.
No, don't do that. Because again, they're thinking about it where the woman is the center. Come at that from the guy's perspective, or from the perspective of that man is approaching you. Yeah, how many guys did they turn down last week, or the amount of DMs that they ignore? Well, God put that person in your life. Are you supposed to? No. Let's not use that argument.
That men, let's say you have a son. Right off bat, he can go ahead and just eliminate this girl.
I'm going to say something.
go ahead.
And I'm not even going to say I 100% agree with this. Not 100%. I think that people look at hair color and nail length.
Okay.
If a woman is walking around, just how I hear people talk about them. If a woman is walking around with claws, talking with her hands, or has like bubblegum pink hair, tie-dye, rainbow, people are going to be like, okay, what kind of job do you have? Like, you must not work in a corporate setting, so what do you do for money? What is the aesthetic that you're going for if you have that type of image? So I think that's the biggest thing that I see.
We should also make note that she did bring up the talking with hands. Talking with your hands is a very masculine thing to do. This is why, and it's kind of weird because guys don't do it. There's a reason why. Because when guys start talking with their hands, usually that means there's about to be a fight. This is why guys don't do that. It's a very masculine thing to do. Again, pay attention to when you see them, when they start talking with their hands, look at the body language between those two men. It's off, and you need to leave the conversation. Like if you see two guys doing it, it's about to be a fight. Just go ahead and prepare yourself. You might need to be walking in the other direction because it's about to go down. And in some cases, extreme cases, depending on, you may be observing something. Depending on the guy, if that man has access to firearms, they may be getting ready to come out, if y'all know what I'm saying. So that's why I say you have to be careful with that. But that is talking with your hands is a very masculine thing to do. That's why it's a turnoff for men to see women do that. Most guys, it's like, yeah. Let's keep going.
Not gonna lie, I told my little brother she's got blue hair, red hair, run.
Red hair? What kind of red though?
Like
synthetic.
I think that would be cool. That I think y'all called it Auburn, copper, whatever the case may be. I think that would be cool. But like that right there, the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my god.
I think that's ghetto.
Not acceptable.
But then
Now, when you've got bright colors, if you, I don't know, bright colors are a no-no. If you can't, if you're not, it speaks to, a lot of times it speaks to the character of the woman. Because, again, what kind of job are you doing? Because most employers are not going to tolerate that, those extreme stylish choices. So, let's go from there.
And again, y'all, that go back to the stereotypes that society has created.
Yeah.
So why can't a white woman in yellow hair be classy? Oh, that's a classy woman. That's a business woman.
That for me, it's
But-
not even her race. Like if white woman in
So
blue
why is it a
hair
run?
be feminist, LGBTQ. Black women in blue hair, they cuss everybody out in the nail store. Like you see certain patterns, and I'm not saying like it's a foolproof. She's going to be a bad person, but like if like I said, my little brother came back to me. He was telling me about a girl he's talking to, and he got to the fact she had blue hair. I'd be like, I proceed with caution.
Honestly, I feel the
Wait a minute, what?
same way because if I see a female, and I'm sorry, if she got long nails
What are you arguing for? What's the argument here?
and she got blue hair, I'm gonna automatically think like she's ghetto. And I'm not. I'm a little other way because them be the ones that'll be like, "Why she looking at me?" Or they just have this. And I hate this stereotype, but it's just how it is.
Before I get to ghetto, what I think personally is like she's bored. Yeah, I would think
bored?
she's bored. Like
Okay, so I've actually come across this theory before. It says that when there is no excitement, it comes out in where there's no freedom of expression, it comes out in other ways. And then you can also, a lot of times you can link it to, again, there's no direct correlation, but you can link it to socioeconomic status because you work a mundane job, which usually don't tend to pay that well. You're looking for some excitement. So I'm going to change my hair color. I'm going to use these bright colored nails because ultimately you're trying to balance out your lifestyle. You see how this works? Again, people will do this with their wardrobe to, I've often heard this about, particularly guys, when we're talking about, how should a man dress or what his wardrobe is putting together to offset his personality. See, the less outgoing the guy is, the more he's got to compensate for that to draw in female attention. The guy that has the flashy car, but he's not really, his personality doesn't match it. Well, yeah, because he's trying to balance that out. It could be said that, remember, we're just talking about theory here, that women do the same thing, is that you don't have that much going for yourself or your self-esteem is not that high. So you're trying to overcompensate in other ways.
Like,
Or want to be seen.
there's some women, especially, from a male point of view, like they always have to be stimulated. They don't know how to be bored. They always have to be something. They always have it gets to a point where you can never do enough for her.
Wow.
Because she doesn't know how to sit with herself.
Yeah. Now you can relate this to the woman that keeps dating the toxic guy. So we've heard this story before. We just never really put some theories behind it. Is that, well, why does she want that toxic guy? Because he's exciting. See, now we're getting into attraction triggers, but a lot of that it stems from it's all part of the same conversation. Is that this woman has things? You know what? Let me stop because we might be going too far out of the realm of the video.
She's not the one that you want to be in the house with when it's raining and ain't shit to do.
She gonna jump up I need to color my
She
hair.
needs to do something. You know what I'm saying?
I
She's
want
just
some blue hair.
Maybe it's like an ADD thing, but she wants to. And a lot of times, in a lot of men's experiences, like those women are also problematic. Before we even get to ghetto, they're also problematic. They're also like, you know, mentally maybe unstable and
Because these are the women that tend to ruin good men. Because she's got a good man who is not an emotional roller coaster. She gets bored with him. He's too boring. And then she go right back to the ex that did those terrible things to her. It's something about him. Yeah. Now, this is where that stems from.
shit
See,
like
that gets
that.
down to the deeper root. all the
I
time.
agree.
But what is it about the color though? Because if it's a woman who's always changing her hair, do you see
That's a
that the
red
same
flag
way?
too. Absolutely.
Why?
Because
Okay.
who do you want to be, girl?
Absolutely. Because I would question if she knows who she is.
Right.
I would question if, like, I'm talking about like she's changing her every week, like she's playing a new character. Like I couldn't date like a Nicki Minaj. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was the same way. I used to change my hair every week, and like I said, I felt lost. I didn't know who I was as a teenager, so I changed my hair literally every single week. I had blonde hair, I had black hair, I had braids, I had a sew-in. I wore my real hair. I went natural. I was doing all these crazy things with my hair because I was lost. I didn't know who I was.
But you don't necessarily have to be lost. You can still know yourself and still want to do different things. But you just still have to
True.
remember who you are and get to that mental state of just being calm and just having this one hairstyle for this time frame. Because I've reached that level. I had that journey of life. I experienced that time frame where I wanted to change my hair, but I still knew who I was. So it's not a thing where we try to dictate a whole different image or be a different person. It's just more so that was just the phase that I was in life at that time.
Yeah, okay. So we're talking about percentages here. Generalizations. What happens the majority of the time? People trying to find out who they are.
And believe it or not, hair color, we're not going to make that a bad thing either because it's actually a beautiful thing. Like, it depends on your living or what do you do for a living or
Beautiful
why
for
you
who?
have to change your hair this color or like the people outside of you. Like, it started, and then one point in time it was a trend. It was to change your hair color because obviously you got inspired by somebody else to actually do that or do this and then not having.
Again, beautiful for who? Because most men will tell you, nah, I'm not really into that. So who is she doing it for? Ultimately, look, I tell you guys that this channel is about, and I'm pro-marriage, and this channel is about average, average people, right? So that being the case, who is that for? The ultimate consumer of female beauty is men. If the men are telling you that's not what we like for the most part, who are you doing it for? You're following a trend. Okay, but who's benefiting from that trend? Because the men are saying, I'm not really into that. So why are you doing it? If you're marriage minded, if you're not looking for marriage, then, okay, go do you. And the guys will come up to you, and once they understand what they will lie to you and say, oh yeah, I dig that. Because they're not taking you serious. So it doesn't matter. You got to make the distinctions, but
I can see where you said not knowing yourself because it's just like you're kind of confused because I can
Being
piggyback
inspired
on
by
both.
everybody all
Yeah,
the
right.
time. Yeah.
Being confused on both behalves, like not knowing. So I think it's important to actually know who you are, but to remind yourself that it's okay to do different things in that time frame.
I think especially at our big age, like if let's say you get with a dude and y'all are trying to save towards a house, y'all are trying to start a business or whatever the case may be. And this woman is committed to being in somebody's salon every
See,
week.
no, that's not the woman for you or what you're looking for that person. You have to find the person that's actually for you. And that it's a growth thing. You have to know who you're dealing with. That's mandatory. Like, who is the person you're actually dating? Like, do you know them on a different level, or are you just wasting time, or are you just having fun? Like, know what phase you are in your life at that time. And you have to have, if you looking to buy a house, you have to have discipline. You can't just be having unnecessary spending because you want to be the it girl or be in the salon and always have your hair done. Sometimes it's
Or
okay.
you don't know who you are and you're still playing with stuff. Because
Yeah,
that
that's
playing
scary.
cost.
That's scary.
Right.
It's expensive.
Yep. And then you ain't got time to actually be a real woman and learn the value of saving and how important it is to have emergency money or learning the value of even being a woman. So it all breaks down to a lot.
Yeah. And I'll say this because this was something that I had happen in one of my relationships. And her response was that I'm doing my hair myself. And what I was trying to explain to her, so my degree's in business.
Okay.
And a big principle that we talk about in business is opportunity cost. For every decision that you don't make, there is a cost based on what you lost, like what you didn't get from not making that decision.
Absolutely.
And for every decision that you do
It's
make,
costing you time.
the cost to you is all the decisions you didn't make.
Right.
So I say that to say the time that she would be spending doing her hair, this many times a week or this many times every month, she could have been using that time developing a skill.
I can relate.
I can
I'm gonna
definitely
chip
relate.
in. So me personally, the only time I go get my hair done is if I'm on set and the production is paying for it, or if I have to model for something and I have to pay for it to get it done. I'm not just gonna randomly jump up and be like, I need somebody to do my hair. I'm gonna do it myself because I'm at a point where I'm financially mature. And like you said, I'm out here in Atlanta by myself. I don't have time to be getting my hair done, going to salon every single week, getting my hair done. Like, it's expensive out
you got
here.
other responsibilities.
Because I have other responsibilities. So I do my own hair because I got to save money. I got to work towards getting a home. I got to work towards getting my dream car. I got things.
That's not what he was talking about. I appreciate her trying to chime in, but that's not what he was talking about. She has a purpose and she has financial goals and she's trying to reach it. She's willing to sacrifice things in order to get there. That's not what we're talking about.
Things I want. And for me right now, buying hair is just not in the plan for me right now.
If I'm understanding you correctly, though, you're saying that even if she is doing her own hair, like you said, being more disciplined, it's kind of like this. When I first moved here, like I said, I used to go out a lot, right? And it used to always be free. So for a while, it was fun. And then I realized, I'm like, even though it was free, I still could have used that time to do something else. So you're saying,
Right.
like, it's just because she's always feeling the need to change herself financially. Yes, you might be okay, but time-wise, something that you can't get back is pulling out of that bucket.
And it takes so much, I mean to say that, it takes so much time to do my own hair to the point where now I'm like, I don't even want to do my hair because it's going to take way too much time. Like if I want to put some braids in my hair, I'm going to have to stand in the bathroom for like 5 hours. And I do not have 5 hours to stand in the bathroom and do my hair. I have too many businesses. I have too many commitments. So I'm going to rock this until I have the time to do my own hair. And I'm going to do my own hair until I have the money to get the service done. So it's all about just what you can manage, really.
But it's funny how this all comes back full circle, though, because what you just explained is the reason why I don't wear my natural hair out that much, because it does take me 2, 3, 4 hours to wash it, detangle it, do whatever I'm doing, twisting it, you know what I'm saying? So it's easier for me to just have a protective style and wear that for 3 or 4 weeks because that is me saving time. And so that's another reason, going back to why we might wear protective styles. It's too high maintenance for me to try to care for my hair. I work out, I sweat, it shrinks. Like, it's just too much that I would have to do throughout the week.
So let's talk about men. I had a girl tell me that she actually doesn't like when a dude's hairline is too crispy.
I like no crispy hairline.
She said the way she explained it, she was like, it's too done up. Like he's trying too hard.
Right.
Yeah. Like it was like she wants it to be clean, but not like too sharp.
Clean.
So with that being said, speaking for or putting men on game, what do you guys like to see with men's hair, with black men's hair?
Great question.
I like to see it done. First off, I like.
What we talking about? A Caesar? We talking about braids? We talking about dreads?
So let's just talk about locks, for example. Okay, so me personally, I don't want somebody that can't maintain their hair. Like, it's a certain type of time to get it done. Like, you got so much new growth. You know when it's time to actually get it twisted and get it clean. Like, get it look nice. Like, don't go 4 or 5 months to the point where it's new growth. You can see dandruff. You know that you need your hair done and washed. Now, if we're talking about a guy that's get his hair cut, you know where, okay, well, waves, for example. I like a fresh cut. You look clean, you look nice, okay. But once it starts, like, a man should know how to maintenance his hair as much as a woman, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's what we care about. Y'all should care about your hair. There are some guys out here that has, like, like a nappy fro. Is it called a nappy fro? And they don't even, like, put moisturizer in it or comb it out and make sure.
Oh, that's kind of what I got.
No, but you have curls, and I'm pretty sure you wash your hair. Like, a lot of men don't wash their hair, then it be dirty, and then it just grows out and be matted.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
you should
Like,
take
NBA
care of it.
boy, like that type of.
Yeah, and then it, like, you randomly have this hair that gets matted, and now you got locks all of a sudden, but they all just all over the place. And it's,
So
I
you don't like
that.
the freeform, like the Florida look.
No.
I ain't
Okay.
settling
Like
for
what
that.
Jay-Z got going on right now, it would be like a
Yeah,
no
just
for me.
snip
I
it.
need
Just
more
cut it off.
clean,
You might as well, right?
clean cut.
Yeah, clean together,
Clean
put
cut.
together nice.
Yeah.
But and that's my question is I have a suspicion that women don't like too clean. Like there's such a thing as too clean. Because
No.
you'll hear I've heard women say, for instance, I want him to look like he's trying but not trying too hard. Help me understand that. Because you see, you know what I'm saying.
So
The
what's
one thing
trying
I-
too hard, though?
I think eyebrows is something for me. Do
Okay.
y'all remember back in the day where people
Oh.
used to put like cuts in your
Slick.
eyebrows? That's trying too hard.
Yeah.
But a man could get his eyebrows groomed. I like
Yeah.
to see that, when you go and get your hair cut, take a little excess hair off on the side. So you don't want it to get to the point where, because I think that what women are saying is that that's borderline feminine for us. And
There
so
we go.
that's
There
a
we
turn
go.
off.
There we go.
So it has to be a little bit of a balance. I don't want you can have nice waves. Do I want to see you brushing your hair every 10 minutes? No. I feel like you're doing too much.
Yeah.
So it's balance.
So, translation, they like the look, but they don't want to know all the work that goes into it. Guys feel the same way about women. We don't want to sit there and know, like, we don't want to know it took you 5 hours to do your hair. We just want to see the end product. And, okay, it looks nice. Okay, well, let's go out somewhere. Unfortunately, this is another reason why, if you're not married, you probably shouldn't live together, because a lot of that stuff gets, you peeling back the curtain too soon. So, I get it. It makes sense.
So you don't want a high maintenance man.
No, I don't want a high maintenance man.
But do a high maintenance man want a high maintenance woman?
Who always in the mirror and
So what? Can they? Can they balance each other out?
I'll say this. I've been called a bougie dude. I like not a high maintenance woman, but a woman who knows how to take care of herself.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I like the towel around your head and the robe. I like all that shit. Some dudes don't. I like the little foam things between your toes because I like that shit. But yeah, some dudes, they just want you to be able to just rock out with you, I won't say something. Just rock out. But I think especially nowadays, since we're talking about black women on their femininity journey, we're talking about soft girl life or soft life, soft girl era, the whole nine. I do think we want to see more women taking care of themselves, but we don't want to see, and we talked about this, we don't want to see you simply just focusing on the aesthetic.
Yes, actually
Of
living your
maintenance.
real life.
Living your real life, improving yourself as a woman, not just how you look as.
And there's a reason for that too, because anybody can look a certain way. But if you notice, if you poll guys and ask them what's the biggest complaint about black women, but black women in particular, it has nothing to do with their looks. Most men will say it's the attitude. So if you're not working on things to, I've said this before, and it needs to be said because we got to keep this going. Self-improvement is great, because a lot of women will say that, especially after a bad breakup, well, I'm just working on myself. Guys, when a woman says that, you need to question what it is that she's actually working on. Is she working on the things that are going to make her more, that men care about? Because again, when does this happen? When do they usually say that? After a bad breakup. Okay, but if you're not working on the things that men actually care about, then doesn't that mean you're just going to go attract the same dude that you got before, the same type of guy? And you just be right back. She's going to be right back where she started at. So I'd say that should send up a caution flag. It's like if you because women will say they're working on themselves. Okay, well, what is it that you're working on? And another reason I say it's a caution flag, because as a guy, is it something that you're going to care about? Meaning that, is it something that you see as a plus or you see as a benefit to you? Is she working on her aesthetics? More than likely, yeah. But is she working on the other intangibles that is going to lead to something that you, as the man, as the head of the household, are going to be able to work with in the confines of a marriage? If it's not, you might need to move on to somebody else. Or, you put her on the back burner. And again, when I say that, I probably have to clarify what I mean by that. It's just like, remember, I say that dating is dumb. This is during the talking phase, when you're getting to know them. So there's no commitment there. We're not going on that many dates. If I find out that you're improving in things that don't really move the needle for me, oh, okay, well, I'm also talking to 2 to 3 other women just like we're talking now. So yeah, it might be at the end of that conversation, it might be another week or 2 before I call you again, because it's you need to go, hey, stay over there. You working on that? Okay, well, hey, I'm good on that. I'm not gonna say that, of course, but I'm going to be pursuing other options, because I don't know the things that you're working on. Those don't add to the benefit. There's not a benefit to what I want or what I'm looking forward to. They're not going to benefit my plan for my life. So you're not going to help me reach my goals with that. So, you probably looking for, I'm the wrong guy for you,
As a woman. So last question, we'll close this out. What does soft life, soft girl era look like? What does it mean to you? And if you can relate it to hair, that would be even better.
You can go for it.
Oh,
I see it's on your head. Like it's
it was still formulated. Okay. Soft girl era to me is the opposite of what we're seeing on TikTok, because I think that for a lot of women, we are kind of trapped in this masculine / wounded femininity state. And so to stray away from that, we have to face our traumas, right? Do a lot of breaking generational cycles, curses, and that's painful. So to me, that looks like therapy. That looks...
I've said this before in previous videos, is that I'm a firm believer in there's a sociological theory called the Pendulum Theory, and that it is exactly what she's talking about. On one end of the pendulum, you have feminism. On the other end, you've got, RP culture, red pill culture. And the pendulum, for so long, has been swinging towards feminism, but it's finally started to swing back to the other way, to where now you have the RP is a direct response to feminism. The thing about it, though, is that the pendulum never stays in one side. It's always going to be moving. And at a certain point, it's going to start to head back in the other direction. The catch is that communities only get built in the middle, right? So right now, it's a lot of women out there. Well, the best thing that women can do is actually hear what the men are talking about. Take note of the complaints that men have. It's not the time to start, to fight back or start responding without, no, take note of it, so that eventually when the pendulum swings back to the middle, you're not looking for retaliation. You go back to your notes and say, you know what? Okay, we heard the men out, and these are the issues. The same thing that men do. Hey, the men need to do the same thing and say, oh, okay, well, hold on, this was an issue before. We want to make sure that we're not revisiting this again. Because again, the goal is to get the pendulum to be in the middle, because that's where communities are built, when we work in cooperation with each other. So, you can call it soft girl era or whatever you want to. The bottom line is that men have grievances. Women take note so that you know that what to what to self-improve on so that we can keep the pendulum in the middle instead of having it swinging back and forth. Because when it's swinging back and forth, you get the gender war. And who wins the gender war? Nobody. We all lose. We're seeing the results of that right now. It's like, who benefits from winning the gender war? Nobody.
It's like you doing shadow work, figuring out where your flaws are, where your shortcomings are. And it is very hard. It is a very hard journey. So I think that in terms of hair, I think that when you can truly embrace more natural styles, I really feel like that makes a difference. As I've gotten, and I think it's kind of like a little bit of a journey. So even if you're still wearing protective styles, what type of styles are you wearing? Are they natural looking styles? Are you doing things like that? I think that kind of progresses as you begin to feel more comfortable with yourself and you stray away from, like we were saying, those Eurocentric beauty standards. So related to hair, like I already told y'all, I think froze are beautiful. So I think whatever your natural state is, rocking out with that's like top tier. Yeah. You're in your element. Like you're super comfortable within yourself.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely.
I can agree.
Y'all got anything to add?
Soft girl era. Learning self-love. Like learning to actually love yourself. Like I feel like that's most important as a woman. You have to learn how to love yourself because too many women is like, just to say it, too many women is out here searching for things that they never had because it's a missing piece instead of actually looking within yourself and actually learning it and gaining the knowledge of one's beauty. Like it gets deeper to where you already aware of the things that you're trying to get from somebody else. You know how to find it yourself. Or you know how to actually find things that's suitable for you. Like a lot of women, of what I finally realized is they go out to find these perfect men instead of just enjoying their own self-love life and letting that man attract to them. And it could be the perfect person for them. But soft girl era is just learning the value of oneself and actually getting in tune with you and enjoying your alone time and actually finding things that's suitable for you or that makes you happy or learning new things and learning new skills as you begin to grow and develop into a new person. Because it's never an ending cycle. We're just only going to get older. And it's like we have to keep inspiring the people that's not aware or actually, I feel like it's important to actually motivate women to love who you are. Like, love who you are. Know that you're important. Know that your beauty matters. Like, you don't have to be like the next person. Like, be soft with yourself. Like, you don't always have to prove a point to social media because it's going to always be there. Like, I finally realized to love my private life more than anything else.
I like that.
Like,
I like that.
Who I am in private is so beautiful than who y'all see. Like the people love me. Like on the humble, like I'm a good person. I don't want to be a bad person. Like some people are rooted evil or come off mad and angry and aggressive based off who they is, and they haven't found self-love within. So it's just the era, it's a phase to actually learn who you are and find understanding in the person that you're trying to be. Like, who are you really trying to be? This person on this social media account who you have to like keep up with and watch 24/7 instead of actually learning who you are, who you look at in the mirror, and why you actually matter. So soft girl era can go different ways, how you interpret it, how you take it in, and how you actually accept it in it.
Absolutely. Ty?
Soft girl era for me, I feel like I haven't reached that place yet. So I feel like it's everything that I'm working towards. Like where I can get a service and not have to worry about, oh, it's not in my budget this month. Where I can take care of me fully, truly, and wholly. Like, I want to reach a place in my life where it can be all about taking care of me. Right? That's what soft girl era is, right? It could be all about taking care of me, but also about where a man can also take care of me, where I can allow a man to do that, where I don't have, where I can be vulnerable, where I can truly.
But those two things are opposing forces, though. You got to figure out it's one way or the other. So I'm confused by what she's saying, but I don't know.
Be soft and be open to receiving a man's love. And I feel like I want to walk into that space where he can give me flowers.
See, now I need to reach that element of life because I haven't reached that, and I ain't looking at that like that. See,
Like,
now
I
you just
wanna-
did a different. My soft girl era was different from yours because of men. So now I've realized that Okay, so this goes to a whole nother topic that's gonna kind of like blow y'all minds. This is probably why I'm attracted to women and not men, based off now allowing a man to actually take upon the needs. So now it goes a whole different level in the atmosphere.
Y'all think she's making those decisions, those life choices based on fear? Wouldn't surprise me if she was. Big problem in our community is the way we raise our kids. It's a social construct that's broken, right? We're raising our kids. I say this all the time. We're raising our kids to be soldiers in the gender war. We're raising them to fear the opposite gender instead of working to build with them. Is that what happened to her? I don't know, but it happens to a lot of men and women in our community. We got to do a better job of raising our kids.
Of what I'm allowing. It's actually what you allow in your platform, in your space, in your circle, and actually taking the time to have discipline and also just being aware.
Because it goes to, how do you treat a soft girl? You know? Like, how does a soft girl deserve to be treated? Like, how do you earn that? How do you carry yourself? So it's like, I want to walk into that space where a man can see me and be like, she deserved flowers today.
And he's aware, and you don't have to remind him.
And he know it. Like, he just look at you and he just know, like, you that girl. You the woman of my dreams. You deserve flowers. I'm gonna rub your feet after work. Like,
a lot of men not like that though.
Soft.
There's a question that's missing here. She's saying a lot of men are not like that. The big question is that, do you want to be married? I'm kind of disappointed that we haven't heard that yet, and we haven't spent enough time talking about it. Because again, if this is how to vet a woman, well, what are you vetting her for? Because if she's just trying to be, if you're just looking for the fun time girl, ain't a lot of vetting going on for that. But if we're talking about, these women, they're supposed to be somebody's wife, I think that question changes a lot of the context here. She's talking about, man, my woman deserves flowers and all this other stuff. But if she's not trying to get married, why are you giving her that stuff? So, I think, I don't know how much further I'm going to go with this just because of that question, because that question is never, it wasn't asked, not in this. It may have been in part 1, 2, 3. I don't know. And I'm probably, I seriously doubt I have time to go back and watch and react to those other parts. But, I think that's an important question to ask because, well, it's an important question to ask for me as reviewing content because it's what surrounds my channel, pro marriage and everything. So, but yeah, that's because if I'm pro marriage and she's not, I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm just gonna move on to the next girl.
I want to be treated soft.
Yes.
Here's the thing, right? And I talk about this a lot. A lot of women want the benefits with none of the responsibility. Same goes for marriage. A lot of women want weddings, but not marriages. Right? And what I mean by that is like, even with this whole soft girl era thing, we see a lot of women talking about, being in the robe and being on a yacht in Dubai in a thong and this and that. But are you going to help that man get to the point of having a yacht in Dubai?
And that's why
are you going to have a meal ready for him when he's busting his ass doing the work necessary to get to the point where he can pamper you and put you in the Four Seasons and shit like that? A lot of women just want to be sugar babies instead of like a woman to a man.
Yeah.
That's so true.
But why is that?
Because I keep saying they.
Bars.
Like, I'm not a woman.
So now I'm looking at my inner self too, like.
Certain women just feel like stuff's supposed to be given to them. Like, yes, you're the prize. Yeah. Yes, a man should want you, but what are you?
That's another podcast. That's another episode.
But it's like, what are you gonna do for me?
Yeah, it's called entitlement. Guys, look, we're gonna end it here on that note because that was bars. A lot of women just want to be sugar babies. Wow. You know what? If the shoe fits, we're gonna wear it, and just like that, I'm gonna say goes to the next time. Peace.